am posting this video because I've been trying to play some ranked to get to gold this season. I have gotten closer, except the reason it is taking 2,000 fucking years is A, matchmaking's broken, you all know this, and B is another reason that you probably all know of. I'm not going to talk about caustic, that I could go on an entire rant about that. That's completely different. But what I wanted to talk about is the Spitfire. This gun, right here, this thing. Yeah, the gun that Spitfire classifies as a noob weapon. So, what's the problem with it, Respawn may be asking. Okay, it may not have the highest kill rate, but that's just because it has a slow rate of fire. Yeah, and so it's balanced. No, it's not balanced. The Spitfire is potentially the best gun in the game right now. Like, I've seen the Spitfire beat, I've seen it beat Peacekeepers, I've seen it beat Cravers, I've seen it beat Triple Takes. I've seen this thing beat the almighty Devotion before, and R9s. I've seen it beat double R9. Me double R9ing couldn't beat a Spitfire, and I had Red Evo, and they had fucking blue shields. And I landed all my shots as well, but they just kept spraying and hit headshots. And there's another problem with the Spitfire. But I'm going to talk about the first problem before we go into that. The reason the Spitfire is so OP is because of its massive magazine. Like, if it just had, say, 20 bullets, it would be fine. But because it's a light machine gun, it just becomes stupidly overpowered. So it's, like, absolutely insane how strong it is. Like, it's unfair. The Spitfire is the most broken weapon ever. I don't know why Respawn tried to make a noob weapon. Okay, so Respawn, here's the problem with making a noob weapon, which ties into the problem I mentioned earlier, which I didn't really say anything about, where, the problem with a noob weapon is that the whole concept of a noob weapon is a weapon that is good enough that a noob can use it, no problem, they don't need skill. The problem with that is, A, people are never gonna get skilled, so sweats are just gonna shit on them all the time because, you know, they rely on the Spitfire. So that's one thing you've got wrong. And B, what are you gonna do if a pro picks it up? Like, the Spitfire, as we all know, it's stupidly overpowered. But what happens if a professional picks it up, eh? What happens if a professional or a good player such as myself decides, I don't know, I'm gonna use a Spitfire today? What happens then, What happens, Respawn? All the noobs that are meant to be using that Spitfire, suddenly, oh no, the professionals got a Spitfire. Now they're beating all of us in one magazine. Ain't that right, Respawn? Because the whole concept of a noob weapon is it can't be done. The whole concept of a noob weapon is a weapon that is specifically designed for noobs to use. The only problem with that is that would mean that it has to be a gun that pros just hate. However, the thing is, originally I hated the Peacekeeper, it was too slow, but it deals an incredible amount of damage. The Spitfire is like that, but worse. See, the Peacekeeper had a balancing system where it could hit really low damage, could hit really high damage, and it had a low mag size. And it didn't have the best range either. So, yeah. Peacekeeper was pretty balanced, and I love the Peacekeeper for that, for how balanced the gun was. And then Respawn puts it in the care package. And what does Respawn decide to take out of the care package to put the Peacekeeper in? Come on, you know what you know what it is. All of you know exactly what it is. It was the Mastiff. The Mastiff, I do feel like they have done a good job of balancing it, but it's another example of a gun that is just broken. Like, it's basically similar to the Spitfire, where it's a noob shotgun, where basically you either hit no damage or you hit all damage. There's no in between. And it had a higher mag size and fire rate than the Peacekeeper, which is what made it so overpowered. The old one was good, the new one is kind of stupid. It's like the Spitfire, where it's so inconsistent and so broken at the same time. I could go on an entirely different rant about all those weapons. Like, there is so many weapons that are just broken, just breaking the meta right now. I might be wondering, well, Dragon, you're in Silver 1. Well, I should be in, like, Gold 4 by now, but I keep getting shit on by the Spitfire. It's very annoying. And like I said earlier, I have seen many great YouTubers, such as Zeus, the almighty Zeus, controller player on PC himself, the only one that I know of that doesn't fuck on about aim assist and shit, even he struggles against the Spitfire, or I've seen him. Like, yes, he does delete people. I am aware of that. His aim is godlike. His movement is ridiculous. I honestly, I feel like if I were to face him, I'd be dead in 2 seconds. But the problem is that when he's fighting other pros, if they have a Spitfire, I have seen, not many times because he's Zeus, but he has fallen to the Spitfire before. More times than I'm comfortable with. And you might be like, what do you mean you're comfortable with? I mean, the Spitfire is still broken. As in, like, the fact that the Spitfire is killing professional players, like, I don't know, a P20 hammer point to a bug, except it doesn't have a shell. That's a bad example. Like, I couldn't think of one, okay? Shush. But it's so overpowered. And that brings us to our next thing about the overpoweredness of it, and that is that it doesn't miss. The Spitfire has no recoil. Like, this thing is more accurate than a fucking R3. This thing has been used as a sniper. This thing, I have quite often mistaken it for a hacker using an R301. And then I look at their banner and they're like, oh, they're using a Spitfire. And you can understand my infuriation when not only does it happen, say, once every few games, but say almost every game that I play, I only die because that one freaking gun. I was doing some practicing earlier with my buddy, and for some stupid reason, I decided, you know what, movement test, I'm gonna go against the Spitfire. Spitfire killed me every time. And my buddy wasn't even aiming. And yes, that's where you see the whole concept of a noob weapon. You're starting to see it now. It's OP. It's retarded. I don't know why they ever tried Respawn. Respawn, what are you do? What were you thinking? What went through your head when you made the Spitfire? Like, what was going through your head? Were you drunk when you made this weapon? Were you drunk when you made this monstrosity right here? This thing? This creature that you created? Were you drunk when you did that? Were you out of your mind? Because this thing is broken. I don't, like, I'm not trying to be salty, because although I might sound like it, I'm not sure, because I'm currently holding back the rage of 1,000 me's, because that's the amount of times I've died to the Spitfire, and more. Don't mind a random invite to party to the left. I don't even know why it keeps showing up and disappearing. But yeah, the Spitfire, broken. Please, get rid of it. So, all of its things together, you got no recoil, basically infinite ammo, ridiculous amounts of damage, doesn't miss. It literally is the perfect weapon. It's a sniper, it's an assault rifle, it's an SMG, heck, it's a fucking shotgun. There's nothing in the game that I could think of that can stand up to it. Other than maybe the Prowler from the care package, that's the only gun that can maybe beat this thing. And also, the Spitfire, is then on the Devotion as well. The Devotion at the start of Season 6 kind of overshadowed what they did when they buffed the Spitfire again. Yes, I know, originally it did like 16 damage and then it got buffed to freaking 18. Jesus Christ. Can it just be 17, not 18? Please, Respawn? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Oh yeah, that's right, Devotion. Devotion sort of overshadowed it at the start of Season 6. After a while we realized, oh wait, nah, Spitfire's still broken. Also, Prowler. I can understand why you put the Prowler in the care package, but the thing is, you can't just get every gun you deem OP and put it in the care package. Like something like the Spitfire or the Devotion, that makes sense. These two guns should be in the care package. But why not just nerf the Prowler again? Like, I don't know, make it have 5 less bullets. Or make its purple mag worse, or make it so that it does something. There's a lot of ways you could deal with it. For one, You could make guns like the Prowler and the Spitfire do less damage, as I suggested before, and reduce their mag size. The Prowler, I feel like it would be a bit of a struggle to reduce their mag size, because then the base mag would have to be 15, but since that's enough to kill someone anyway, does it really matter? But that's off topic. The Spitfire, I don't understand. Like, there's so much wrong with the game right now. Like, I'm enjoying it because new season soon, yay! And also because we're doing some fun stuff. And we've had a lot of updates this season, some cool things. But why this? Why did you have to create an entirely new heirloom? Like, what the hell? You couldn't have just kept the old one? And now you're saying there won't be an heirloom next season because you didn't have time to create a new one? You understand, you didn't have to make a new model, forgive me. You could have just been lazy like you normally do and just use the old one. But yeah. There's so much that I could talk about, but I'm not going to because this video is meant to be focused on the Spitfire. It's so broken. Like, a noob picks it up, it's gonna be still broken. Because, again, you don't even need skill. There's no skill cap with it. It just is what it is. It's stupid. It's a sniper, for the love of God. What have you created? Respawn, please nerf the Spitfire. I'm calling out to you. Save your game. People are leaving. I know a lot of people who have played this game with me. Elemental Storm, he's changed his name to the Lucid Juice Box, I think. Potato, I think he's been on the channel a couple times. Yeah, shout out to him. He is on the Absolute Lads channel, which is now Juicebox Boy, who hasn't posted in 2 months last time I checked. But there's some cool shit on that. There's some fun little jokes and stuff. I especially like the beans video. Yes, I like beans. But anywho, that's going to be it for today. I've said my piece for the Spitfire. It's broken. Pros have gone on about it. Heck, there are even some newer players who think the Spitfire is stupid. I have known a lot of people who have left because of crap like the Spitfire, or because you won't buff a legend. Like, seriously, Octane is so trash, and yet you keep fucking buffing him in the wrong way. Octane's stim is not the problem. Like, he's in a good place now, but just saying, it took a very long time to get him to that point. Well, to be honest, it's understandable. They have to be very creative. So in terms of a legend buffing and nerfing, I wouldn't say it's that big of a problem, because it's understandable that, you know, with the legend it's an experiment, because they've got like so many abilities and so many capabilities that each legend could have. Like, if you were to completely change Pathfinder's ultimate or something, or as passive, it would be game breaking at first, although if you give it a while, people would probably get used to it, just like people got used to the Spitfire. Although I'm not used to the Spitfire, it is overpowered. And you're probably not used to seeing this Pathfinder because they generally play Lifeline. Yeah. That's gonna... I said that was gonna be the end, like 5 minutes ago. I don't know. There's so much I could talk about right now. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Respawn. Get onto that shit.